Hello everyone, and welcome to my Sister Wives For You channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. What is the real reason for Robyn Brown's children on Sister Wives being kept apart from the original wives and children? I would love to sit and talk with Robyn's 5, Maddie Brown Brush said. But is that going to happen? For more information, continue reading. The real reason Robyn Brown's children were segregated? The fact that Robyn Brown's children are not close to their other siblings is well known. The OG3 did not accept Robyn's 5, and the Sister Wives star pretended that it was all their fault. Brianna, Dayton, Aurora, Sol, and Ari would all be welcomed into the households of the original 3 wives. However, Robyn forced the OG13 to knock and tread carefully, which made her home quite unpleasant. In any case, prior to the relocation to Flagstaff, there appeared to be some unity within the group. The women in Flagstaff lived far apart, whereas in Las Vegas, there was a cul-de-sac where everyone could congregate and play. Additionally, Robyn said that Cody's sons had treated her disrespectfully, so she made every effort to distance herself from her 5. But there was a desire for change after Garrison Brown's death. The original children and spouses were gathered on one side of the tomb, while Cody, Robyn, and their 5 were on the other. Maddie Brown Brush expressed her willingness to speak with Robyn's children to their sibling, Leon Brown. Fans don't believe she can apologize if she ever hurts them, despite her desire to do so. One Sister Wives fan explained why they didn't believe Maddie could talk to Robyn Brown's children. She will never be able to, as Robyn has been teaching her kids for years that the original Browns, particularly the original 13 kids, despise them. Brianna and Aurora have even expressed that they believe their wives and other children never truly welcomed them. Furthermore, Cody and Robyn's youngest kid, Ari, has declared her hatred for Christine Brown-Woolley. She couldn't possibly know that she didn't like Cody's ex-wife without being reminded. Robyn's ultimate objective. Does Robyn Brown intend to keep the children apart in the end? The fact that everyone stood apart as they bid farewell to Garrison Brown really irritated Sister Wives fans. Maddie Brown Brush feels sorry for the other kids because of this. Additionally, the way Cody and Robyn made their 5 pawns throughout this whole issue has angered viewers. I find it unsettling that Robyn's children have been drawn into all of the drama by KNR. It was simply intolerable to tell them they were never accepted, even though yes, people overhear things, etc. Robyn's children are messed up. Since their mother has already taught them what to think of everyone, they are unable to judge someone based just on their conduct. According to one, they witnessed the OG wives' intense desire for relationships with Robyn's children. Since the parents and the rest of the family have always expressed a wish to keep in touch with Robyn's children, I personally ignored this criticism. Even as she was departing, Christine expressed her desire to have a relationship with them. The children are typically kept apart from the parent-child conflict at all times. Robyn is ultimately to blame for her 5 children's separation from the family she said she so desperately desired to be a part of. All of their siblings will welcome them back, though, if the children do open their minds. Do you think Robyn is going to keep her children from interacting with the other families? Tell us and tune in to TLC's Sister Wives Sundays. In the wake of Garrison's death, Sister Wives actress Maddie Brown Brush has made the decision to get in touch with Robyn Brown's children. Robyn has isolated her 5 kids from the others, even disrupting their group chat during the holidays. What does Maddie have to say about getting back together? For further information, continue reading. Maddie Brown communicates with Robyn's children. Cody Brown has made it known that he is staying with Robyn Brown, his 4th wife, and her 5 kids since the pandemic in 2020. He had 3 spouses and 13 other children, although he had many problems with them. He didn't think Christine Brown-Woolley and Janelle were acting responsibly or safely. Furthermore, Cody thought his kids were endangering their lives and security. Fans of Sister Wives were aware of his preference for Robyn, yet he continued to refer to her as his obedient wife. The children's dissatisfaction with their father produced an irreparable rift in the family. After Cody's first 3 wives left him and the Polly family, Robyn and he were the only ones remaining. It has been really unfortunate that Robyn's 5 have been cut off from the OG 13. The years they had spent together as a family had been destroyed. Thankfully, everyone came together to bury Garrison, the son of Janelle and Cody, in Wyoming. After that, Maddie sat down with her sibling and Leon Brown, the long-lost kid of Mary Brown. Maddie mentioned throughout their conversation that she wished to get back in touch with Robyn's children. She began by expressing her annoyance with their father, Cody, even going so far as to call the Sister Wives star by his name rather than Dad. "I'm upset about what happened with Cody, but I still have control over how I respond and how I reciprocate, so I'm still choosing how I do that." Maddie went on to say that she felt sad for her father and his 5 kids with Robyn. She continued by saying that she would like to have a conversation with the children of Cody and Robyn. "I have nothing against you," I would say, "and I apologize if I've ever caused you any harm. Will there be reconciliation?" Maddie Brownbrush seems to be able to keep her father and his wife away from their kids. She dislikes the distance and is aware that they are her siblings. Sister Wives has spent the last 3 episodes in mourning for Garrison Brown, who committed suicide in March 2024. Even though they were separated, everyone gathered to bid him farewell. But while everyone else was at the opposite end of the grave, Robyn's children were on one side with her and Cody. It was nice to see several children welcome Robyn's 5 as they entered the cemetery. Fans of Sister Wives thought Robyn was solely to blame for her family's distance from the other 3. Furthermore, they provided explanations for their feelings. They thought Robyn was in charge of every aspect of their lives, including their phones. Moreover, Robyn seemed to make her children feel unwelcome. Meanwhile, some viewers thought Maddie and Leon were attempting to use television to connect with their siblings. Is it too late, or would you wish to see the children reunite? Please share your opinions in the comments section below. Gwendolyn Brown, star of Sister Wives, has always been outspoken about all facets of her life. She has discussed her sexuality and other issues in public. Viewers have witnessed her development as she has, in a sense, grown up in front of the camera. The diva recently disclosed that she has no intention of discussing her sexuality in public. She didn't want to come out as LGBT on the TLC series, but she never wanted to hide it. Producers of Sister Wives, however, urged her to discuss her sexuality. In an interview with Teen Vogue, Gwendolyn talked about the circumstances surrounding her sexual orientation disclosure. Cody is an Orthodox individual and a devout churchgoer. Although he disliked his daughter discussing sexuality in public, Gwen did not care what her father thought. Gwen is one of the 6 children that Cody and Christine, his 3rd wife, have together. Gwendolyn Brown, a sister wife, reveals the nature of Cody's relationship with his children. Gwendolyn Brown conducted a Q&A session on her YouTube channel. Her relationship with her father is not good. A Sister Wives fan inquired about Cody and Isabel's connection in her YouTube video. According to Gwendolyn, Cody does not get along well with any of his children. She went on to say that Cody puts his and Robyn's children first. Her noted, speaking for herself, that her and Cody's relationship has gotten worse over time. Cody was also chastised by Gwen for not spending more time with his other children. Sister Wives. Producers jumped Gwendolyn Brown to discuss sexuality. Cody Brown has always been quite traditional and conservative. He also intended to force all of his wives and children to follow church doctrine. Cody once had 18 children and 4 marriages. They all attended the same church in the past. But in 2021, viewers of Sister Wives witnessed Christine's departure from both Cody and the church. She had no intention of carrying on the relationship. In a similar vein, one by one, Christine's children severed their relationship with Cody. Gwendolyn, his daughter, has always been an independent person. A flurry of interviews followed the divorce of her parents. She discussed her sexuality in one such interview. The producer abruptly asked her, Your mom mentioned you're bisexual," during an interview concerning her sister's move to North Carolina and her parents' divorce. "Would you like to discuss that?" She simply accepted that it was true because she didn't want to conceal it. During the filming, Gwendolyn disclosed that the filmmakers wanted her to discuss her sexuality further. She recently talked candidly about her experiences in an interview with Teen Vogue. She disclosed that the discussion of her sexual preferences on TV didn't excite her. She went on to say that the thought of someone coming out as queer bothers her. Gwen clarified that since straight people never make their sexual orientation public, there's no reason why queer people should. Gwendolyn disclosed in 2023 that her brother Leon cut ties with the Brown family since the majority of them did not accept transsexual people. Rumors reportedly circulated that she argued with her brothers over her sexual orientation in the interim. She even acknowledged that there is transphobia in her family. For years, loyal viewers of Sister Wives have noticed an uncomfortable but consistent trend. Robyn Brown's children appear to exist in a world almost entirely separate from the rest of the Brown family, and fans have questions. Was it intentional? Was it driven by fear, protection, or favoritism? Or was it simply the fallout of a fractured plural family that never fully integrated Robyn's branch into the broader tree? The truth, it seems, is as layered and emotional as the plural marriage itself. While TLC cameras often showed Robyn emphasizing the importance of unity and shared values, many fans observed that her biological children, Dayton, Aurora, Brianna, and later Solomon and Ariella, were rarely seen interacting closely with the older kids from Mary, Janelle, or Christine's households outside of occasional scripted group events. And now, with the family officially fractured and many of the adult children speaking up in subtle ways, fans are revisiting years of footage and wondering if what looked like emotional distance was actually something far more intentional, a quiet segregation reinforced by Kody Brown's own preferential parenting and Robyn's influence over household dynamics. The whispers have grown into pointed online commentary. Why didn't Robyn's kids spend time camping with Janelle's boys? Why didn't they appear to bond deeply with Truly or Isabel? Why did viewers rarely, if ever, see them staying over at other wives' homes? The timeline paints an unsettling picture. When Robyn entered the Brown family, she came in not only as a new romantic partner to Kody, but also as a single mother with 3 children of her own. Initially, her emotional vulnerability gained her fan sympathy. She was seen crying, thanking the family for accepting her and her kids. But even in those early moments, there was a strong sense of protection, a barrier even between her children and the rest of the family unit. Robyn often emphasized gentleness and sensitivity regarding how her kids were treated, frequently noting that they had come from a different background and were still adjusting. While empathy for trauma and change is valid, many now believe that Robyn may have used those sentiments as a long-term shield to limit interactions with the other wives' children. And Kody, smitten and increasingly infatuated with Robyn, supported those boundaries rather than challenging them. Over time, it began to look less like Robyn's children were simply adjusting, and more like they were being kept apart, both physically and emotionally. More glaring was the shift in Kody's parenting. While he once juggled time with all his wives' children, coaching, mentoring, spending birthdays and holidays with them, his presence around Robyn's kids became constant, almost exclusive. During COVID, that asperity turned into full-blown separation. Kody refused to visit Janelle's and Christine's households, citing exposure risks, yet he remained fully present in Robyn's home. While the pandemic strained all families, it functioned in the Browns' case like a magnifying glass. It revealed priorities and exposed hypocrisies. Garrison and Gabriel, Janelle's sons, began to speak up about how they felt abandoned. Christine's kids, like Isabel, who underwent back surgery with minimal support from their father, began drifting emotionally. And all the while, viewers couldn't help but notice, Robyn's kids had their dad 24/7. To many fans, it no longer looked like protection. It looked like exclusion. And not just exclusion from germs, but from the larger family itself. Robyn has long maintained that she wanted peace and unity in the family, but fans question whether her actions truly supported that narrative. When she moved into a sprawling mansion, while the rest of the family faced housing insecurity, many saw it as the symbolic cementing of a first wife status. While Janelle lived in an RV on Coyote Pass and Mary bounced between rentals and her B&B, Robyn's kids enjoyed central heating, their father's full-time presence, and private schooling. It created an emotional hierarchy, not just between the wives, but between their children. And despite repeated calls for fairness, Robyn continued to emphasize her kids' needs, while often dismissing other kids' independence as rebellion. A recent flashback clip circulating on social media shows Robyn referring to the other kids as being out of control, while praising her own for being obedient and respectful. While it may have seemed innocuous at the time, in hindsight, fans argue it laid the groundwork for a long-term emotional divide. Now, in the aftermath of Garrison Brown's tragic passing and amid a family reckoning that has left Cody estranged from many of his older children, these divides are under more scrutiny than ever. The public wants answers. Why did so many of the older children, especially the boys, feel that Robyn was a wedge between them and their father? Why did they often describe Cody as absent from pivotal moments in their lives, while Robyn's kids had him full-time? Some insiders claim Robyn subtly discouraged sleepovers, group trips, and spontaneous visits between her children and the others. Others believe it was less about Robyn directly and more about Cody's blind spot, his inability to enforce equity when emotionally entangled. But the result, regardless of motive, is the same: two parallel realities. In one, Robyn's children had a nuclear-style home with consistent parenting, discipline, and praise. In the other, Janelle and Christine's children were asked to raise themselves while watching their father become a ghost. Fans are also connecting the dots between this emotional segregation and the ongoing pain expressed by the adult kids on social media. Payton Brown has been especially vocal, suggesting that Robyn and her children operated as the real family, while the rest of them were extras for the camera. Michael T. and Gwendolyn have alluded to feeling distant from their father and sensing that Robyn actively shaped his view of the other households. Even Mary, once hopeful of a reconciliation, has admitted that she never felt like Robyn's children were truly integrated. And while Robyn has cried on camera and insisted she wants unity, viewers now challenge the sincerity of those tears. Some believe Robyn is far more strategic than she lets on, that the image of emotional victim masks a woman who played the long game and ultimately won by securing Cody's full attention and separating her children from the drama she herself may have orchestrated. It's worth noting that none of Robyn's children have publicly spoken against the other kids, perhaps because they were intentionally insulated from them. But that very silence speaks volumes. Where is the bond that should have come from growing up in a plural family? Why don't we see Instagram photos, FaceTime calls, or casual meetups between the siblings? Even in families marked by divorce or dysfunction, siblings typically stay close. That hasn't been the case here. And the absence of those sibling relationships feels more like a result of long-term cultural and emotional separation than natural distance. Cody himself has often justified this by claiming that every household is different, but fans now argue that this difference was curated and that it favored Robyn at every turn. Ultimately, the truth behind Robyn Brown's kids' segregation may not lie in one single explosive moment, but in hundreds of quiet choices. Choices to stay home while others gathered. Choices to educate separately. Choices to define safety in a way that excluded emotional connection. Choices to build walls where the rest of the family tried, however imperfectly, to build bridges. And while Robyn may continue to defend herself as merely protecting her children, the long-term result is a family torn not just by plural marriage challenges, but by favoritism, absence, and emotional inequality. As the Sister Wives saga continues into new seasons, with more children growing up and speaking out, viewers are left asking a painful question. Was the Brown family ever truly united, or was it just good TV until Robyn became the final wife standing? In a moment that few expected and even fewer saw coming, Madison "Maddie" Brown, daughter of Janelle and Cody Brown, has reportedly made the first real move in years to bridge the emotional chasm between her side of the family and Robyn Brown's children. Fans of Sister Wives know that the Brown family has long been plagued by division, not just among the wives, but increasingly among the many children born into the plural marriage. The split between Cody and 3 of his 4 wives left not only broken romantic relationships in its wake, but also confusion, resentment, and distance between siblings who were once supposed to be part of one giant, loving family. But now, With Garrison's heartbreaking death and the emotional fallout still reverberating, Maddie, who's often been the peacemaker among the adult Brown kids, has apparently extended an olive branch to Robyn's children, igniting hope that healing, however tentative, might be possible. Sources close to the family suggest that Maddie's gesture wasn't about the cameras or forced reconciliation, but rather about humanity, grief, and the kind of maturity that often seems absent in the chaos of the Brown family narrative. After all, if there was ever a time for compassion, it's now. With Garrison's death casting a long shadow across every Brown household, the cracks in their foundation have never been more visible.